This song is called Loosen Up by Midnight Cycler. Loosen up, baby. Get it, become a Midnight Cycler. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining. 6 minutes to countdown. Get yourself ready for an amazing weekly candle close. I'm excited. You should be excited. We're going to rock the house, baby. We're going to bring it down. I can't wait to see you there. God bless you all. Let's go. Wow, what a day. What a beautiful day it is. It was like 90 degrees here in Florida, but you know what? It was absolutely beautiful. Spent time with the kids in the pool. Just took the kids for a walk. Even at 90 degrees, it was nice. You know, you get used to the heat, and, you know, it's weird. As long, you know, the humidity was down today. It was just a hot day, but it was a beautiful day, everybody. God bless each and every one of you for being here. It started beautiful. I was up early this morning. I knew it was going to be one of those most beautiful Sundays ever. And it was a day to remember for the rest of my life. I'll always remember today as just a blessing. We hit our trade, number one, that I put out this morning on the, you know what I mean? It just, things played out so beautifully. I'll just go to X and bring it to X. Follow me on cryptolifer.com. But look, there's me waking up the day, giving you kind of what I'm seeing for the morning, right? Which is kind of cool because you can kind of follow us along. And I'm talking how we're going to find opportunity no matter what, things are going to happen. And bang, you know, on the live stream, we saw this cup and handle. We talked about a move to the upside, and bang, did we get a move. And I was looking at, you know, a target of 61,800, and we'll take a look at what I'm talking about here so you can see what I'm actually saying. But if you go over to Twitter and you follow me on Twitter, all right, which is not a rabbit anymore. Interesting, I think that I just, yeah, here we go. But here's the post, you know, I was live this morning. Going live at like 8 in the morning, saw the cup and handle to the upside, saw the entry exactly there with the stop loss, you know, showed you guys exactly how the trade would play out and said to get out around 61,800, and bang, we banged basically. This would continue up to the target a little more to 61,800 exactly, and bang, 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 bang. Shout out to everybody here. Let's take a big sip of the water. Wow. When you're thirsty, when your body really needs it, water just, it does something, right? Anyway, blessings to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. I'm seeing something similar to Casper here, right? Starting to make a bit of a move here. Daily's a little overbought. I want to see what happens with the 200-day moving average and what happens for Bitcoin. But if Casper can go even at least sideways, it can start to get a bit of move. So Bitcoin pumped all the way up, hit our target, right? That's when, and then I even told my trading group, I saw that the 15-minute got too far away from the 21-day moving average. And they got a post, and I said, look for price action to come back to the 21. You know, I said, you know, basically it's time to get out of the trade because we're likely to come back down to the 21-day moving average. And when that happens, you don't want to be sitting inside of a trade when you're up huge after a beautiful call, right? And so in my trading group, you'll not only get like the idea of what's going to, but look, see, now the 15-minute will likely revisit the 21 SMA, right? That's time to get out the trade. So I gave you the exact entry and then told you exactly what was going to happen after price action did that. And if you watch what happened, all right, and this is the type of stuff, and you can see this is, I said this here. We had like just the beginning of a red candle. It wasn't even there. It was like there. And I said, watch this revisit the 21. And literally within 20 minutes, you had hung out with the 21, done this whole thing, and now boom, right? Now you would lose the 200 SMA on the 1 minute, but you would gain it back. And on the gain right here would be an entry, a revisit, but then a continuation. And then now this is kind of where we stand for Bitcoin. And we're going to look at the weekly candle now. So I just wanted to kind of, if you're with me, I bring you from where we've been to where we are now. And you can kind of follow Bitcoin along with me and never miss a beat. And I find this like the beautiful, you know, nuance of my stream. It's like we take you through this whole motion. So the weekly candle closed. We waited all week for it. It happened. Now there's 7 days till the next weekly candle closes. Let's take a look at what happened to Bitcoin. And the weekly candle close. I was gonna pass out. Someone give me water. Someone give me a pills. Someone quick. I'm gonna. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's take a look at what happened to Bitcoin and the weekly candle close, shall we? If we hover here, we can see the OHLNC, the open high, low and close for Bitcoin. And we opened at $64,012 even. The high was 65,500 even. My exact resistance area on the weekly, 65.5. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. The low was 60,187 and 12 cents. The candle would close at 61,483 and 99 cents, down $2,528 and 1 cent, down 3.95%, basically a 4% loss on the week. A vicious beatdown for an asset that big. 4% is pretty huge if you think about it. $1 trillion asset. So that is a massive dump for BTC. Okay. Yeah. What we find out is people that say, all right, I'm out. It's awesome. Like, that's what we want to see. They can't handle the close thing. You know what I mean? It's like, we've been doing it for 4 years. So, you know, you can miss the TA just over that. We find out who you are. So we take a look here at the weekly, okay? And so bearish close. And we knew this is a bullish pin bar. And we know it's a bullish reversal candle. But your next candle needs to close above just this candle close. We got a bearish engulfer. It doesn't mean it's over. You know, we can still say, okay, well, we're still inside of a bull flag. And this bull flag still wants to break out, and we reenacted and somewhat almost touched the 21-day moving average, which is all you need to do. Like, that would suffice to me for a decent pullback, for a move to the upside. We could even do 2-3 more weeks down a little bit more, and this thing could still pump to the upside, and I wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So, like, you could go 1, 2, 3 more weeks sideways, right, and never even break this low now. You know, I'm not saying we're going to do that. I'm just... You know, and again, if this did happen and we were to break out of the flag, the measured move does take you to about $98,000, $97,500, and somewhere into July, right? Not saying it's guaranteed, but that's the path that I'm seeing for the measured move, and I've seen these play out a lot, many times, right? Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. God bless you, brother. Thank you for being here. Blessings on blessings. So, the weekly does not look amazing. Bearish engulfer on the weekly. That's a bearish sign. It would have been a lot better had we closed bullish. However, had we closed bullish, it would have been almost on like Donkey Kong. We were going to break the all-time high. And like, I don't think they're ready to just give us that yet. Like, just not, it's, you know, they're not going to reveal their cards, the CAD so fast over here. So the fear and greed index sitting at 57. All right. You know, decent place to be. I'd much rather it in here. When we were at 48, I gobbled up some Bitcoin. You saw me doing it. I'd like it lower if we can get it so I can grab more Bitcoin and more altcoins. But, you know, it's a decent place right now to see where we stand. But, you know, it's kind of indecisive in the middle. Let's move on to our 3-day. So the weekly candle, we see where it closed. It closed bearish. We checked it out. Not the best sign. Not a happy camper when it comes to the weekly close, right? However, we are still above weekly support, which is the resistance here. And you have like 2 weekly support areas. You have like 58.3 and 60,250. Both these areas, you know, are, you know, resistance there. So you got some resistance because that's weekly. So you got to respect it. So until we break below those areas, you'd have to say, okay, we're just bouncing and we can still get a reversal here. So I'm open-minded. All right. Better stop moving. So now we have this, you know, a falling wedge that we've been talking about too on the 3-day chart, which falling wedges break up 68% of the time. You have low, high, lower, low. Could this be the first higher low that you're putting in? The 3-day chart actually doesn't look too bad. And if this can close in 2 days, that could be a bullish engulfing candle on the 3-day. So we'll be watching this closely for, I believe, what is that? That's going to be a Wednesday close, or Tuesday night close, Tuesday at 8 p.m. And we'll be able to see what happens here on the 3-day chart. Major resistance at 64,000 and 67,200. Those are the 2 areas that I'm going to show you and we're going to talk about for the next couple of days, and unless we break back above them. Also, at the end of the day, like as strange as it is, you know, a bit of a shoulder head, right shoulder. You can even say this is a bigger shoulder head, right shoulder. But I say an inverted head and shoulder. A low and a higher low has been put in here on the daily time frame. So we'll see what happens. I'm not in love with everything, but, you know, we could bend here and continue to the upside on the stochastics. And, you know, if we were so bearish, how come we didn't come down and make a double bottom? How come we didn't come revisit 58,000? So there was some pressure here at this area, and there was some support at 60,000. For 2 days now, 3 days, we have reversed. And the daily is attempting to pull off some type of reversal here. If you remember correctly, this is what we're watching on the daily time frame. I'm watching the idea that we were retesting this trend line and we never broke back inside. If we break back inside, we're going to drop to the bottom of the trend line, somewhere here to 56,000. Come revisit the daily 200 SMA. If not, we can get tighter and tighter and pull the moving averages into each other. So you'd like to see this pump up, pump down, do something like this. As this continues to happen, what will happen is the 21, the 50, the 100, the 80, they'll all get like this, the 200, and then boom, we'll get an explosive move to the upside. So the longer we can go sideways, the more we can pull the 200 closer. The closer the 200 gets, the less likely of a massive dump to the 200. Like here, it was like, oh my God. Here, it was like, oh my gosh, we're going down, right? But as we continue to chop sideways, we continue to pull the 200 into price action. What that does is that pulls, the idea that we're not going to dump so hard to the 200. That's a pretty bullish sign, but you'd have to trade with the 200 for years to understand that. It's not like a sign that you just see. It's not an indication. It's a trader instinct know-how from knowing how to use the 200 for years on end on different and knowing how it works on different assets, not just one asset, but many different assets, and that comes with time. All right, and you'll get there too. And some of you may be there with me, and you may know exactly what I'm saying. All right. So resistance. We did not break back inside the pattern so far. They faked us out on a retest there, got everyone excited, slapped us all down because why not, right? And then got everyone to short. Now they got liquidity here because they got the short again. Now they can really rip. So they were going to rip. So they went to rip here, rejected it, got the shorts to come down, flattened as many shorts as they can with high leverage that were close to the bone, ripped it up, got everyone to think that was a retest, got the longs to get in, ripped down, got all the long liquidations, then got everyone to think that, yes, that was the retest that got rejected. We're coming through the pattern now for sure. And then flattened all the shorts. What we did is we just took the smaller time frames and just kept taking what we could get. You see what I mean? And because I have an instinct of what to do at the right period of time, right? Now, you could be ballsy right now and long this right here with a stop loss lower than 59.8 and see if you can go all the way to the upside. There's a chance that becomes the trade of trades. I'm open-minded to that idea. Here's the deal. We lost the 200 SMA. We need to get back above it on the 22 and the 12-hour. They were in tandem. Look, they looked like twins. They don't always. This is an interesting concept. And if we can get back above this, we can put it in a higher low. And if we get back above this, if we close a candle above this 200 SMA here, you'll see me, breathe a sigh of relief, even for just that 12-hour candle. And then we'll go from there. I'll take it one step at a time, one candle at a time, one moment at a time. All right? I want to make sure I'm close enough to the mic here, but not too far away with this new setup. Hey, Johnny be good away. So let's take a look at the 8-hour time frame. I'd love to see this make a somewhat, a slanted double bottom, even though that's low, and just boom up to its 200 SMA. The 4-hour is starting to look like it's going to make a move up to its 200 SMA, and the 4-hour definitely has a double bottom vibe here. And another thing that I show on the 4-hour is this RSI swinging up while price action swung down. That's bullish divergence. And to me, I'm in that shoulder, head, inverted, complex inverted head and shoulder camp. I'm in the camp of the complex head and shoulder people that believe we're in a complex inverted that's likely going to break out. Yes, we need to break this high at 63,003. Yes, we need to break this whole smorgasbord of pain here at about 64,005. Those are going to be major local resistances, and that's going to coincide with can the 4-hour break back above the 200 SMA. If you want to be really, really, really selective, you can trade nothing right now and just wait for price action to break above the 200 SMA on the 4. If it does that and makes some type of flag, you get in with a stop here, and that may be the trade of trades. Remember that I said that because that may be the trade of trades. Okay. What I'm also open to is, though, that we're in a bear flag, right? I mean, look at it. And we could go further to the downside here. And now we're in somewhat of a channel right here. You can almost feel like we were in a flag that broke out twice. It's breaking out again. A falling wedge, see, like this. Broke out, came down, now it wants to break out again. So the moving averages are how you don't get tricked. While they're tricking everybody else, you stick to the same concepts over time. So right now, the 1 hour suggests that there is going to be a short squeeze tonight. And this is this sly little pattern that I've played before in my life. Watch, check it out. I'm going to give you a little... And most people have never seen this or used it. Most people look at me and... See, most people laugh at what I teach because... Not most, some, but because they think it's so outlandish. But see, this is a bit of a cup and handle here. That's going to give you wick-to-wick measure moves. And remember, you're above this point of control now on the VRVP, you see? And you can gap up to the liquidity. So, see that gap in the VRVP? And so 62.9 looks likely. I see the 1 hour making a move to the upside. See the curve on the stochastic? And we had a pretty nice move with less curve too, but this curve on the stochastic looks pretty bullish to me. And it's increasing with momentum. I see a short squeeze at least up to this liquidity zone, just a 63.3. Then we could dump. Who knows? I'm not saying it's going to be huge, but that's what I see likely happening for Bitcoin into tonight, into tomorrow. And be careful. Sunday night into Monday is extremely volatile. All right. So I'm ready to draw some shapes, coach. Amen. I like it. I like it. You know what's going on then. Could have the 12s game on, but learning is more. Yeah, I mean, you know, if they win that game, unless you bet your life on it, and then you're doing really risky things, like, is it going to be worth it, right? Anyway, so what I'm saying is, like, if they win, does it really matter? 62,570. It's good when your team wins. You can go to the local parade to bring some economy in. You know, if you want to look at it from that standpoint, it may, you know, cheers up some of the local people, gets things going for a little bit. It's not the worst thing in the world, even though there are some superficial ideas behind it. I get it. You're the GOAT, Sam. We were blessed to have you. Shout out to Life for Avim. I'm blessed to have you, brother. Thank you for always being here and supporting me. It means a lot. It really does. Casper looking hot for a pump. I do see it in a beautiful cup and handle, and I showed my trading group. We're talking about it a lot. Casper. And I accumulated what I could when it went down to 10 cents. I think it even went to 9, 11. And even though I had a huge bag, I continued to buy more Casper, which was crazy, but I did. So the 15-minute back on the rampage again. And you know what I like is the 15 minutes above the 200 SMA now. That's a good sign, right? And it even tested it today and bounced right off of it too. So let's see what happens. You know, it's a little oversold now. I'm overbought now, and it's at a resistance. And there's a chance we do bear flag and we just continue to dump. I'm not, you know, I know I paint both pictures sometimes because I don't know where Bitcoin's going to go. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I'm just picking places to get in and get out based on probability of watching price action over time. I think it makes sense to you now. So like the 7 minutes a little overbought as well. So we look for some type of flag here now. Like maybe this is going to be another cup and handle, you see? And we'll handle down here a little bit. Back to the 21-day moving average before we, you know. One minute looks interesting. 7 minutes. So yeah, I'm not ruling out a pump. The 1 hour looks pretty interesting. Let's see what the 1 hour could do. All right. Sam, I heard you weekly close. Shout out all the way over from here at Pompano Beach, man. Thank you. I figured you could have. So that's what I have for Bitcoin. You know, look for Bitcoin to break up 61.8 and retest. Boom. That could be a beautiful long, some type of flag here. Boom. Back to 62.675. But we could come down and also go sideways. It looks like more, you know, usually on a Sunday night, I would say sideways price action. But the 1 hour looks interesting. Let's see what BOOKMAP suggests just to check on it. And I zoom out and look at all the liquidity on like a bigger area, right? So they still have the glob of liquidity below all the way to 59K. You know, they want like, you know, there's layered liquidity all the way from 60K up to 61,000. Not too amazing. Like, I'm not saying it's like, I mean, that's not like, not that far away, right? Even if we took a dump, it looks, you know, they could eat a lot of liquidity there. The lowest zone I see is 58,000. Now, but I do start seeing some liquidity here, like 62.9. And lately, even though we've had less liquidity above, we've liquidated the shorts above us, then hitting all this big liquidity has been waiting, and we haven't tapped it yet. It could be a false liquidity zone, which I've seen happen. Like, they build it, but they never get it filled. But we are pretty close to it. You know, don't suggest. You got to figure. This is what I want you to understand. You got to believe BOOKMAP isn't 100%, but you're better off believing in it than not. And you'll find that out on your own, you know, completely without me if you do the work. So BOOKMAP suggests that we go further to the downside here and to the $60,000, $58,000 liquidity zone. All right. So BOOKMAP's more on point that we're going to break down from this bear flag. And so look for the 7-minute to lose the 200, the 15-minute to lose the 200. And if we do that, I'd start looking for a short. So if we lose this yellow line on the 15 minutes, see this yellow line here, and we start to drop in this point of control. So very simple. You'll see. Once we close a 15-minute candle below the point of control on the yellow line, look for a drop down to 58,000, 59K, somewhere in this vicinity. That would be the measured move of a bear flag to the downside. All right. So it's not over yet. Be ready for the possible move to the downside. I could see it happen. The chances are, you know, more than, I think there's like a 50-50. We go up or down right now. So there's still a high chance that we take a move to the downside. So the efficient trader is either waiting for a flag here that makes sense to get into, that they're comfortable with, or waiting for a break back above 61.8 in a retest to get into a long, or waiting for, you know, the 15-minute to lose the 200 SMA and the point of control to take a short to the downside. And that's how I would play Bitcoin for the next couple hours, you know, 10, 12 hours. Might even get us to 1 o'clock in the afternoon or to tomorrow on the live, and we'll go from there. All right. Let's go to his likes, Pete. Thank you. Shout out to David Kendall. Shout out to Race on Records. They induce shorts so they could move back up and vice versa. Amen. You sound like a doctor. Can we please look at Solana? Greetings from Fort Lauderdale. Shout out to Daniel de la Baja. Samuel, love the pocket square. Gives you the suit, the flair of elegance. Shout out to You Grow, I Grow. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the love. Yeah, it just adds that je ne sais quoi, right? Squared up. Stay squared up, kid. You know, a coin that keeps coming out that I want to put on your radar is Subquery. SQT, I think it's called, right? Subquery Network, Subquery Protocol. Subquery Network, SQT. It just keeps coming up a little bit. Token net metrics added up to. I did my own research. Some of you have brought it up to me. It's got a base in Ethereum, so it's on base, which is interesting. It has taken a pretty big beat to the downside. So, you know, and I'm not in it right now, so I'm not asking for exit liquidity. And look, it has really no liquidity either, actually. It's pretty sad. But it looked like an interesting project that had some type of, you know, it got me interested. The decentralized, the future pioneering fast, flexible, and scalable Web3 infrastructure. Supercharge your DApp with Subquery today. Global decentralized. At the forefront of DePIN, the Subquery network is the full globally distributed indexer and RPC providers. Load balance so customers benefit from a single endpoint, but multiple redundant providers. Decentralized without compromise. One network, all your Web3 data needs. Decentralized data indexers, you know. I like the idea. I like what they're doing. I like their thought process. Reminds me a little bit of Parsec in a way where they're more behind the scenes to connect, and they got SDKs and stuff. But yeah, Subquery network. You know, I didn't buy any yet. It just starting to kind of look at it. It has a very small market cap. It could 100x from here, from what we're looking at. Again, I haven't bought a piece of it. I don't know anyone in the team. Just someone brought it up here like a month, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I really dismissed it a little bit. I did more research. Now it's coming back up again. We may see this thing make a move. You know, what if it's a $200 million market cap in 2 months from now? So just something to start to marinate on. I put it in the marination list. It's not ready for me. I'm not jumping in yet, but that's what I do. I'm always marinating on things while I'm getting things ready. You know, it's like a restaurant, right? You have things thawing for tomorrow while you're getting some other things going and such. Yeah, mega ripping again, almost back to the all-time high. And if you can see, really, it respected the golden pocket 618, come very close to the 786. Bounce here off the golden pocket 618. Hit that 382 fib, and now it's going for the next move, probably back to that 226 937. And mega ripping to the upside. Just, it is what it is. I'm not taking any sides. I'm just showing you the facts of life here. Okay. Shout out to the channel sponsor, I Trust Capital. Buy, sell cryptocurrency in gold and silver with your IRA. You can move your IRA or Roth IRA today to I Trust Capital. It'll blow your mind. You won't believe it. It's awesome. And they are a channel sponsor, and we greatly appreciate it. Look, Solana, 145. They also have access to Shiba Inu and some small coins like Doge, so you can get in on the action and not miss out on the meme coin, fun. So I really like that they have access to, not every coin, but a good assortment of coins, and some high, some low, and some in between. So shout out to I Trust Capital, a great place to invest in your future long-term for retirement. I Trust Capital. Look at the link or the QR code in the banner on the screen throughout the live. Oh, what a day it is to be alive. And again, like I said, if you want to join the trading group, we have a pinned comment here, that's easy to access at the top. We also have an I Trust Capital link if you want to hit it there. And you click this one time and it takes you to my website, and you can join today, jump on in, and get an education you deserve from someone that hasn't taken a day off in years. Like, I'm here every single day. I'm going to continue to do so. I love you. You love me. We've created an amazing unity. And together we can do anything. I really believe that. So each and every one of you have proven to me how amazing and strong my community can grow, and how fast we can grow, and how far we can go. So I want to see how far we can take it. And I believe we can take it to the moon, baby. So shout out to Crypto Billy, man, who lives in love. The giver's gain. Love seeing you again out there fly fishing, having a blast. Seems like that's where you really sit, and you're out there just in your element. And, those are the moments in life that we all should appreciate more. Blessings on blessings, man. Still remember that night meeting you in Austin, Texas, and what a blessing it was to get to know you. Something was different about you that night. Something warm, something caring. I felt this, and no homo, a little kind of weird for a guy to say these things, but I felt a family feeling from you. And I felt it immediately. And it was just an interesting night, man. So look at this STARL. I saw this thing go out of control when I first put it out. Has lower volume, it's low cap, but I could see this 1 hour taking off to the upside. STARL, which is Starlink. Nothing to do with Starlink, all right? But I could see this make a move once it breaks back above 31673, all the way back up to this higher point. 24% gain possibly for STARL. Just something on my radar that I'm seeing. I don't own any at all, and I may not even be in the trade. I probably won't be. I usually don't trade Friday night, but this looks like a good pump to the upside. It's 6 a.m. getting the education early in the morning. I like that you're up early getting the education. That makes sense to me. I love it all around the world. All around the world. A coin that I would really, really start paying attention to, that I believe is going to do damage, is Nosana. It already did damage. And, some would say you're late to the party. It was 19 cents when we first looked at it. We were trading it before the bull market, just on and off. Didn't even really know it was going to take off the way it did. Look at the way it double bottomed here. Beautiful double bottom at resistance. The measured move of the double bottom would take us further to the upside here. Right, like so, somewhere back up to 685. And that would take you to about a 40% gain. So I'm just, I want to put some coins on your radar for free, just to be nice. And again, who knows? I don't own any of it, and you're not my exit liquidity. I'm not putting coins out because I need to dump on you. I know people don't believe that because that's all they think people do with a pocket square. But yes, but the idea behind this is, I'm just kind of running through my mind, and whatever I see, I see. So you might just be lucky to catch what I'm looking at. Okay, and if you're not making it here, but you're in the trading group, I still post these to the trading group too as well. Things that I see that are likely going to make a bit of a move. We're getting back in to this time of alt gains again, where I'm starting to, I'm starting to smell the alt gains again. And so when I start smelling them, usually they start coming in a little bit. My instinct's pretty strong, so I know when to wait. I know when to hold them. I know when to fold them. And again, I could be wrong, but things are starting to look interesting here for a certain amount of prospects. Ton is another one on the radar that just continues to bang on them. Aleph is also awesome. But look at ton, all the way to 7 now. And remember when I first talked about it, I even put out this flag and said it was likely going to continue. But we gave you a position right here that's just continuing to go up, somewhere around like 570, 580 right there, and it continues to rip. I was even looking at it at 517, and when the market came down really hard, I said, man, of all the coins to buy right now, Ton just has that extra je ne sais quoi, right? Now, there could be some memes on Ton that blow up behind the scenes, and that could be a better way to capitalize on Ton, because you're like, I didn't get in at 2, and it's already at 7. But this thing looks like it's relentlessly going to grow. And now look at the 4-hour in what's called an ascending triangle with a beautiful move to the upside, and it just had a golden cross. Like, so if anything pumps and makes it to its all-time high, I believe, right? Isn't that's going to be the all-time high? And not huge, but that's like a nice 23% gain. That looks more likely than almost anything I'm seeing. So like if I was going to trade anything for the next 2-3 days and look for some gains, so that's what I do. I look for advantages in the market. And there's always an advantage in the market if you look for it. If that's what you become an expert at, you'll become an expert at it. Like over time, eventually you'll hit so many. So Ton looks like it's likely going to make a move to me. It's on the radar. It's something that I would keep around and kick it in my mind. Okay. MYRIA is another low cap gem that I got on the low. I believe it was going to do numbers. We found it here. We saw it rip, right? Came back down. I accumulated. It ripped again. And then we got blown away in the market right back to the downside. It got sold off pretty harshly compared to the rest of the market. And it's got this is a funny pattern. I'll tell you what, like it double topped to at about $0.015, right? Is there still gas in the tank? Is this project dead in the water? I don't believe so. I believe this is a great place to accumulate. One last time at this previous support or resistance area at the 786, which is coincidental, where it will eventually bounce back to the upside. So again, I didn't sell a penny of it. I believe in this coin, and I'm seeing this as what's called an accumulation zone. Now, of course, I own this coin, so oh yeah, I want people to reaccumulate it, right? Because oh, he's in it. Well, it doesn't matter. I took a shot at it. You know, if my community wasn't able to ever buy into it, it wouldn't matter to me. So, but I'm always honest with you. I do own this coin. So, and I've owned this coin for like, I don't know, about 4 or 5 months now, MYRIA. So I see this as an accumulation zone for MYRIA and a place where I would be looking. All right. Just because it's, you know, that's a 786 Fibonacci retracement. That's a known retracement, okay? Right now, most of the plays are either the hot coin that you can find, which is like, you know, LF, or, you know, which is few and far between. There's like 5 or 6 hot coins every couple of days here. A meme or something like that. Or it's building a position in something that you believe in that's at a very, very good entry point, right? I'll never forget how we met on the gains on the 19K dip when no one believed. Thank you, Sammy, to you and your family. You've always been with me all the way, and the lifers in the 99. God bless you, brother, and I'll still be there. Can we get some TA and Pepe, my man? America. Shout out to my man Tucker for the 199. Welcome to me, Sarasota, Sam. Can you please go over super? Shout out to Dopamine Wave Pool. God bless you, brother. Sarasota is such a beautiful place to live, and I'm super happy to see people on the stream from Sarasota. It's really welcoming and a beautiful place. Let's take a look at Solana. All right. Solana Soda. Now, Solana's following Bitcoin in a way where I feel like it's in this falling wedge. It broke out, and then it kind of hung out outside. Now, as long as Solana kind of keeps this zone here, we're going to be okay. If Solana decides to break and drop back, you know, Solana might come and test 123 again, right? So what we want to see is this little flag for Solana eventually break out. And watch the daily get busy to the upside. Make sure Solana never really breaks back below 140 and gets above. Solana breaks back above 157. Now, I'm in Solana for 100 grand, remember, at 109. So, like, you know, I'm not in the greatest place. I'm up like 36,000, 35,000. But, you know, I was up 100 grand at one point, and we'll see. But to make big money, you can't just take 100 grand. Like, I wanted to make more than that. So let's go. Let's see what happens. You could say this is a double top, and we're going to dump to the downside. And if Bitcoin takes a tumble, we'll take a tumble. And Solana could go lower. But so far, you know, it's up, it's down. It's made a double bottom off of 121, which is pretty strong, solid support. And now it's flagging out. We'll see if this flag can play out to the upside here for Solana to the target at 180, 179 area. All right. I got so much crypto alpha, my brain fries, but I'm not effing leaving. I know how you feel, brother. I know how you feel. Imagine how I feel. Imagine how crypto alpha I have. It just never ends. It just never ends. Let's see what was strong coins today. Anything that was harder than other coins. See on the 1 hour what's pumping. Helium Network up 1% today. TON is the one we just talked about, and you can see I could already smell it. SEI getting some love as well. I like SEI. SEI kind of is like, you know, the SUI competitor. You got SUI, SEI, Solana, all S's. It's funny. We got Jupiter, the Theta Network, and Solana. And Jupe is hot, man. Jupe holding that buck. And remember, we got into Jupe at that very beginning. You could first kind of put your limit orders in and see where they got filled. And I knew Jupe was something smart to get into. And we went up and down with Jupe, but we eventually, you know, had some massive gains. SUI also on the radar, people talking about it. But look, down 10% on the week. Let's see what's up on the week. TON is really your number one coin. I talked about it and I said it. I also went over Caspa and made even a video about when Caspa was in the lows and how I was accumulating and showed a whole chart about it like 3 weeks ago. Made a point to do that. Render also a stronger coin compared to most. Akash had a big pump recently and is kind of still holding gains. Airweave keeps getting talked about. I see AR on a lot of radar, a lot of tweets, a lot of people kind of mentioning it. Chili's out of nowhere still holding some gains in the week, which is interesting to see. And the AOIZ network also getting them all love. And of course, Pepe has been on the rampage a little more than recently. Athena is another hot coin I would look out for and begin to accumulate. Anywhere between 50 and 80 cents, I believe, is really like an absolute steal for it. So this is definitely a place I would begin to look to accumulate ENA, but that's up to you. You do whatever makes you happy, but I believe that's going to be a hotter play later on in the bull run. Injective Protocol, another one that I hold that I believe at 23 is an absolute steal, but you do whatever makes you happy. Okay. And Chainlink too at 13.59. I mean, I'm just, again, you do you though. I also love Near. Near held its gains compared to a lot of other coins in this rally to the downside recently. So, and WIF has been hot. Really, I own WIF, just so you know. I own AGIX. I believe it's a great coin to have in the fold. But we got in super early, so again, a lot of our stuff, like we got in at 10 cents, 19 cents. We're up 8x and a lot of the stuff that we're in. We got in super early in my trading group. Cosmos, Atom, Ondo is something I'm building a bag of. Whenever it's below 80, I'm like, wow, that's kind of a good, down 9% on the week too as well. So it's, creating that idea. Fetch is another hot project that I own that I believe is hot. Beam's another hot project that I own. I never got into Conflux, but I think it's hot. I just didn't get a chance to grab any. Aptos I own a little bit because I just feel like it's going to move with the market. I own some Algo from back in the day because why not? But I'm not a fan. Just because they're doing stuff with, a certain amount of people. I'm not going to get it. Gala's hot. I own Gala. Sui. I don't own any Sui at the moment, but I like Cetus. And once Sui kind of heats up, I'll be DCing into Cetus again and using Cetus. I own Ordi. I like BRC20. I own some Floki because I think Floki's going to be hot on the low. I own some Avalanche. It's hot. I own some SEI. It's hot. I own some TIA. I believe that will bounce back eventually, go to 50, 60 bucks a coin at least. Jasmy. I own some Jasmy. I like the idea behind it. I don't own any Doge. I don't own any Lido, but I know them and I like them. I don't own any Core. I don't own a Helium, no Wormhole, no Starknet. I own a bunch of stacks. I got in super early, and I got into Optimism super early. I traded BONK on and off, but never held it. I own some Tau. That's basically like your top 50 right there, right? I got some Pyth, and I still own some Pyth. And I'm going to hold Pyth long term, man. And I'm not selling any of this stuff. I don't, no plan to sell anything. I think Arkham's hot. I don't own any. Would have liked to add it at the beginning stages. That thing takes off and it just seems to continue to run. Jitto's another hot coin that we got in it very early. We knew it was going to be a good supporting project to the Solana network, and it's really been holding its gains comparatively. Look up 10% on the week too. So on the low, like that's a hot, strong coin. Superverse is going to do well. I just like the team behind it. I don't think we'll let it fail. And I just went through. I got free EtherFi. I still hold some. Radium's going to follow Solana. So if you believe Solana's going to bounce, Radium's a good DCA. I own Zeta Chain. I believe it's going to be hot with the multi-chain aspect of it. It's just got to get some steam and build up. But I believe Zeta Chain can do numbers. I own some Manta. Manta can do kind of what TIA did. It just has to get the ball rolling and get more TVL, but I believe in it. Engine Coin's been hot from back in the day. Raven's back in the day. Traded this one on and off, but you know, SafePal wallet, it's cool, but whatever. Space ID, Scale's an interesting project actually. They could do numbers. Alt Layer I like a lot. Alt Layer I believe can do numbers and definitely something I would pay attention to. $350 million market cap at 31 cents. I own some basic attention token from back in the day. It never seems to make that much money. Centrifuge is a hot project. I didn't get in. I probably won't, but I'm pretty sure it'll do numbers. Loop Ring's actually pretty good. RSS3 is a AI like deep-in hot project too here at 330 million. This is something I would consider getting in. It's like a newer project too that could get that buzz again and really get a move. Could possibly 30x, 20 to 30x in my regard. So it's something I would look at. A lot of people love Metas. They like it a little more than I do. It's okay. I like Illuvium. I own some Illuvium in the gaming section. BNB and Mask tend to pump together. I haven't been in Mask in a long time. It's an interesting coin. Flux. Yeah, and that's just kind of like going through some coins for you guys. I haven't done that in a long time. Let's take a look at Omni. Omni's another new one coming out that people were kind of mentioning as well. And I have an extensive portfolio. What I do is I looked at the narratives and I made sure that I dip my toes in BRC20. So I have like stacks. I got, Alex, just stuff like that in BRC20 aspects. Swaps, Orange Coin, stuff like that I believe are going to be, I've researched BRC20 and I know what projects kind of build infrastructure. I know what they need. I know what they're missing. I know who's trying to build around that and why and what you know what I mean? So once you understand the ecosystem, you know what it needs, and then you can see when a project comes out with what you need. Now, 10% of the supply is out. That could be a little bit of a problem. There could be some dumping there with the Omni network, right? And $179 million market cap, though, not too shabby. Let's take a look at the website. What does it say? Unexpected close the connection. Interesting. We'll see. There you have it. No Omni. No. A blockchain built to unite all roll-ups powered by Omni. That's interesting. Octane is a super search performance optimized EVM framework launching with integrations from Celestia, Arbitrum, and Egan Layer. Octane's unique design opens doors for new higher performance L1 architectures and decentralized sequences. So Omni gets inside of that liquid staking idea too. Interesting. Omni. Okay. I get more of a vibe of what it's doing. It's on MEXC, so we can just take a look. And look, there we're getting this flag to the downside. As expected, we're away from the 21-day moving average. Yeah, Solana, I'd love this flag to break out to the upside. Looking like a bit of a shoulder head and a right shoulder, right? Looking like we may get a beautiful move to the upside. This may be a textbook inverted head and shoulder that just shoulder, head, right shoulders us right to the upside, and we just go right through this gap. We're sitting back at 186. I'm back up on 80 grand, and it's la-di-da by May 21st, right? And I'm like smooth sailing, baby. And there's no gain without no pain. These last dumps have been somewhat painful. It hasn't been easy to hold Solana at certain times. Even I'd never capitulated, but it almost crossed my mind. So if I got that far, I can only imagine how many people they got to sell off. Like, because I'm like mentally just checked out when it comes to trying to get me to sell. There's no way. There's no way I'm not doing it. All right. Let's take a look at Omni here on MEXC, the Omni network. And wow, I mean, the thing has been railed, right? So it came out like somewhere in the 30s. Thought we had a bottom at 17, ripped up on a wick, came back down. And now you're looking for that rounded bottom, pay the bills. So you'd have to really believe in this project and want in and feel like you missed it and feel like this is the time. It is low now. And if you believe it could do numbers, this is it. I don't know if I'm sold on Omni yet completely. But if you're sold on the project, the TA says this is like the lowest you're going to be able to get it at, right? Starting to make a rounded bottom, it could continue. The thing is, it could. Who knows if it just continues to get sold off and less supply? What if it? You got to watch Bitcoin too, right? Could bear flag continue down? I'd wait for it to break back above at least resistance. Give me some standing point here. Retest the 1787 level. You know what I mean? Or at least watch that it consolidates for a while and respects this. And then around here, I would probably make, some entries in. I may miss out on 17. I might get in at 1850 or something, but it's the safer bet. We do have a gap here. It says we could easily get back through that liquidity. So I do your research. I do a little more into it. Maybe go to a Discord, find out about it. But if you really love Omni and it's your thing, this would be a really good price, to be getting it at. But you'd have to have guts, and it's almost like you're buying the Adam and Eve there, I feel like, in a way. Look at Scalia Infrastructure. Interesting. Good work, Sam. I don't have cash on me. Can I pay with a like button? Smash the like. Shout out to you, my friend. Check. We have been through this dip on 25 on the daily. 60K resistance like 25. That's how I feel. Life or knowledge, baby. Soul RSI and MACD on that $11 Stokes, baby. You're funny. That CME gap. That seems like the Bitcoin will retest 68 level to fill the gap. Any thoughts, Sam? It's a good idea. We'll take a look at that CME for you here. Now, I don't see a gap of the CME. What gap? See, everyone always says to fill the gap, and some days I'm like, what gap? Like, there's a gap there, it was filled. There's a gap there, we filled that. This gap kind of got filled by a wick. See, that's a little gap, but it has wicks there. That gap got wicked by. Yeah, I don't see a wick. I don't see a gap in the CME, man. Finally made it to the trading group. God bless you. Thank you for doing that. God bless you. We will do our best to serve you properly and give you the information you deserve. But 1 hour has a CME gap right there. We could come and close that, I guess. All right, I'm on that. Close that CME gap on the 1 hour time frame. I'm okay. That makes sense. So I went over exactly how to play Bitcoin. I would rewind it because I was in the zone when I did it, and I was pretty spot on. I feel like we're just still inside this like falling wedge now. But that little flag got rejected. We don't want to lose the 1 hour 200 SMA. We do that, that's going to be no go, right? We don't want to lose the 15 minute. Oh, look, we did. Look, the 15 minute lost the 200 SMA. You see that? Oh, I'm watching Casper. So sorry. I'm like, whoa. Get back to Bitcoin. I was like about to say, wow, things change fast. Like, I thought we were nicely above that 200 on the 15. I was like, that's weird. Yeah, so as long as we stay above this 15-minute 200, I'm bullish. And again, we're going to retrace and go sideways, and who knows exactly what pattern we're going to make here. But I'm just looking for that to continue. And so if you just join again, I'm looking for Bitcoin to go somewhat sideways in this flag. And it's also in a bigger bear flag. They could drop to the downside. We know we have liquidity up here, and we're in the gap in the VRVP. So I see a short squeeze somewhere to 63,000, likely. But I'm open-minded that anything could happen. All right. And I was more intricate of how and why things were going to happen in the way they were in the previous update, if you want to jump on in deeper. All right. $61.5 just got a little wickage to him. 61.5 has been a major support of resistance level too. We'll see if we can hold that. I don't know if you did your taxes, you want to go over them again, or you're not sure about them. But shout out to Grifted.tax, one of our channel sponsors. Book a free consultation. Enjoy 25% off the standard pricing for full tax preparation services. And, find out what's going on with them. Earn 25% off if you say you're a lifer. And even say, hey, I did my tax already, but I'd like to go over them. I did this and that. And he'll do an amazing job of going over them with you and kind of explaining maybe how they could help or benefit you next year, and see if there's anything you may be missing. So jump on to Decrypted.tax, and God bless the channel sponsorship. We appreciate that. Okay. Bitcoin double topped in a supply zone on the 15-minute. It looks like it may have, yes. I agree with you on that. Sunday night live stream. So do I see anything amazing? I kind of went over the altcoins that I'm looking at. Right? What's that World Mobile token too? That's been on my radar as like the HNT competitor on Cardano, and it had that beautiful run up, right, from 13 cents all the way to 47. And now, to see it kind of struggle a little bit, I'm not happy about it, but I'm like, well, I never was able to grab it, and this thing could get hot. This is something I may add to my long-term portfolio. If I can get it to come back down to 21 cents, somewhere around there, then I'm willing to take a bite. That's what I do. I set outlandish price action and only take it if it goes where I believe it should go, or where I desire it to go. And I don't chase, especially even long-term bags. And in this way, you can really put your foot down and only get the best prices, right? But that's what I'm looking at. If I can get now, I may miss it, may break out, I may never get it again. That's okay. I move on. I don't fall in love with positions. I fall in love with the idea of the position that I would like to, that I desire to get into. Like, I fall in love with the fact that can it get where I want it to go. So we looked at Pepe, and Pepe was just hotter than most coins. And Pepe looked like it could do some damage. Pepe looks to me like a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, inverted headed, complex head and shoulder. And it's looking very bullish to me. That's a very bullish complex. Multiple higher lows, 3 in a row as we speak. And can it break through this previous resistance? And boom. It's very close to its all-time high, which was sitting there at 10, and it's at 87. So, and I see a big move for Pepe. Ever since I put it out, actually, around 6.9, it's been moving to the upside. It's actually up now, and now there's only 100% gain, so it's up almost 40%, right? I see more coming possibly for Pepe. I would see Pepe on my radar. The memes seem hot right now. If Bitcoin stabilizes, even gets a bit of a pump, the memes are going to go crazy yet again. And there's been some really bullish moves with the memes. Like, there's been an actual, like big time TradFi is investing in not ETFs, but putting memes together in one big batch of a fund and making a meme fund. I mean, this is getting crazy. So apparently everyone realizes that if they don't invest in it, they could miss out. And Pepe's hot right now. So I'm with you. Whoever gave the Pepe call or, wanted to go over Pepe, you're just reinvigorating what I'm saying. And look, tight moving averages above the 200 SMA, getting tighter inside of the pennant. Beautiful consolidation, a larger shoulder, head, and right shoulder. This thing can boom. And I don't even, it doesn't even matter if I own it or not. It has nothing to do with me. I don't own any Pepe at the moment. Maybe I'll double down right now. It looks like Pepe is going to make 100% gain. Pepe, baby, Pepe. So Pepe's on the radar, something I'm definitely looking at. And even there's a littler ascending triangle there inside of this bigger pennant. We could even tighten it up a little bit here for Pepe. So as you can see, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm bullish on Pepe, or, is that clear yet, or is it? And I'm only passionate about TA, and the TA says, hey, a big move is coming for Pepe, and I've been right since I'm up 40% since I last made the call. And you would have known about Pepe already in my trading group. All right. Check BONK is fire, almost equivalent to Pepe, best chart as of right now. Let's take a look at BONK. BONK had that inverted head and shoulders, started the move, came back down, never got to the bigger target that we wanted to see BONK. But I see what you're saying here. Like it's inside this bigger channel and getting tighter. Now, BONK had more of a pump earlier, but yeah, I do see the inverted head and shoulder vibe. Kind of got that, you know, if it loses the 200 SMA, it's over too. No, not over, but for that move could be done. But memes are showing strength, they really are. And then they're showing strength with bullishness and news. And the little ecosystems of memes are still kind of rocking and rolling. That Tucker coin's really starting to make a bit of an impact. And it looks like it's going to continue. It's got its own, you know, YouTube channel that's getting some buzz. That I've never really seen that with a meme, right? So and that has, I think Tucker, it had, when I last saw it, had almost 6,000, 7,000 subscribers. That thing gets to 10,000, right? And, you know, who knows what could happen. So interesting time for memes. And Tucker's really, if I was going to buy a new meme right now, Tucker would be the coin. Tooker. And again, I don't know the team. I don't know any, I don't get paid to do this. I know people don't believe it. I'm just going over coins that I actually like. But Tucker's on the radar. And don't worry, I know like we used to be the gains factory, gains on gains. That time will come again. But I'm not going to force my money into the market. And I can't, I show you guys how I do it for real. And I'm not going to like fake calls that I would never take. So I'm not going to be like, hey, just to fill your filler with like, hey, take this, you know what I mean? And I want to make sure that we take calls in the best scenarios possible, make the most amount of money. We don't lose our, so I'm looking for the highest probability. Long for 59.8 and holding any NMA 40x Bitcoin with 200. Should I wait until the 74 if it gets there for the first profit? That's up to you, man. I never know what people should do with their money. Let's take a look at Super, which used to be Superverse. Now it's called Super Farm, right? Or something like that. Or it used to be Super something. It's called Superverse now. They've changed the name. I see it here on CoinEx as Superverse. And I believe that's what he's asking about. Elio Trades, right? Yeah. So look, from this original impulse, it was at 79 cents just back in November. I mean, everything is just still in bull market. Just a nice little 2-3 month pullback inside of a bull run. I mean, and look, you bounce off the 786. You're now in the golden pocket. I would have to say that this will be some of the best prices before this thing takes off yet again. And what happens is people are going to get fearful here and not make gains and not make moves and say, oh, the market's going to dump more. I'm not getting in. I'm going to wait for better prices. You know, it almost never happens to people that say that. Well, you know, and that's why the DCAer always wins. The guy who's willing to open his wallet when the market's full of fear and add to his positions or create new ones when most people would never even think of doing that. Because one day he's going to open positions and then he's going to catch the bottom. And those bottoms are going to pay for all the times he didn't do it right. You see? So if you're consistent, eventually you're going to win. That's kind of like, and then you get better at calling bottoms. Then you get more money. And then, you know, like me, like the more money you make, the more you're out of the rat race. The more you're out of the rat race, the more you can take time to step aside and see what's happening. The more you can step aside and see what's happening, the better off you become as an investor/trader, because you can see the market, right? Like when you need to make rent and you're worth $5,000, you're freaking out on a leverage trade when you're down $500 to $1,000 because that's a fifth of your money and you need to make it happen. But once you have a few million in the bank, you can put, let's say, $300,000 down on a trade. It could be down $100,000 and you could be like, and you could wait it out 2-3 years and eventually take out the million and 3x to $300,000. Make $900,000, $600,000 or whatever in 2 years. Pay low, long-term capital gains on that. And so it just, the whole thing is you eventually start seeing the market differently when you're not sweating the rat race anymore. You know, so if you basically make it your goal to get out of the rat race, 100% your goal to get out of the rat race and go after your dreams and do whatever it takes to get out. I don't care how hard you have to work, what you have to do to get out. Do whatever it takes to get out, because once you're out for life. And remind yourself of that. Anytime it's too hard, anytime you want to hang out with the boys, anytime you want to chill, remind yourself over and over and over again that once you're out forever. As long as you don't do anything stupid and, do heavy drugs and mess up your life. But once you're out forever. Right? You don't have to go back. Like, it hit me like, I used to think I fought and then I have to keep fighting and fighting. And again, you have to maintain and you have to, have a business. You got to keep moving and you got to work hard. That's why I work 7 days a week. You can see it's not easy. If I didn't work 7 days a week, I'd lose more than half of what I had. It's a constant battle for me to remain successful. It never ends. Okay. It never ends. And no one's going to hand it to you and no one hands it to me. And I don't care how much you've done. Look at all I've done. I can't rest on what I've done. Oh, look at my 60,000 subs. Look at all the stuff I've done. Doesn't matter what I've done. People want to see results tomorrow. A new person's going to join the group tomorrow, or a new person's going to join the stream, and they're going to want to see results. They're going to want to see results, right? They're not going to know who I was and all the calls I've made in the last 2 years. They're not going to know about everything I've done, right? So you got to continue. And that's the thing about life. It's that hard because you don't get, you create a foundation for what you've done. And if you save your money and you use your money right, it can help you over time. You get to higher places in life, I rented a room and ate guacamole while working in a factory and dumped 80% of my checks into crypto in 2019. Building a cabin this summer. Shout out to Corey Alfin. Sounds like you did whatever it took to get there. It didn't matter. Diary of a CEO equals fact. God bless you. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. What do you think of Crown before the Kentucky Derby? Probably going to do great. And this makes sense. There's your cup and handle, right? It's just, the 15 minute was overbought. It was going to come back to the 21-day moving average. Just like earlier today, we said the same thing. Understand how price action works. Understand the ebbs and flows, and you won't be thrown off. Just want to give you a cub. God bless you. Thank you. A cash network, interesting. And there's a little spike up. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if we get the short squeeze up to liquidity. But again, I explained exactly how I would trade this. If the 15-minute loses to 200 SMA, look for the bearish retest, the loss of the POC, short this puppy back down. If this starts to come up, look for it to break above 61.8, retest, long that puppy up to liquidity. Pretty simple to me. But you do whatever makes you happy. Yet I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. We already nailed it today. We nailed it this whole week, Monday through all the way to Sunday. Every single day I gave beautiful calls for Bitcoin. If you listened to my calls on Bitcoin, you would have nailed it all week long. Like unreal. Same with elite traders. We aren't just putting out calls just for the sake of calls. We aim to lead by example. We have learned when to go hard and when not to. Exactly. And it's sad when the group kind of, pulls back a little bit because people are like, well, I'm not getting 1,000 calls like I used to. Because we're not going to force you into a market that's not perfect. We want to be on the highest probability section. We're still making gains, though. I still people making gains. So I've been listening to your advice and incorporating it into my strategy, and it's working. I want to thank you, and God bless. God bless you, man. Yeah. And let's take a look at the fan funding here on a Sunday night for the candle close. We got some beautiful people out here to shout out. We got Mike M for the $10 super chat. El Heffa in Florida slang. Appreciate that you explain and already have gained much knowledge of the trading group. Y'all should join the 100. One love. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. Y'all should join 100. Thank you. God bless you. And celebrate the third super chat from Mike. And we get some TA and Pepe. And thank you for saying that, Tucker. And Pepe looked amazing. Welcome to Sarasota from Dopamine Wave Pool. And we went over Super. Thank you for asking, talking about Super. We love you for that. And thank you for welcoming me home, man. Shout out to Sean C. Can we take a look sometime with ICP, please? We'll take a look at that. Thank you for asking. And Omni TA, we took a look at that as well. Wow, we got a lot of awesome stuff. Can we take a look at Shapeshift Fox, too? Appreciate Let's take a look at that from Triple Z. Shape, I never heard of that. It's a new coin on the radar. New coin. Shapeshift Fox token. There it is, and it actually comes up, you know. $30 million market cap. It's got a bunch of chain addresses, Optimism, Polygon, Gnosis, and Ethereum. I like that. Multi-chain dump to the... all hell, though. Look at that. All heck. I mean, look at that thing. All right, that's some nice pumpage, though, from where it's at. Okay. Is that just recently? They get a token unlock or something? What's going on here? Can't get a max supply on it. Volume's pretty low at 517,000. Let's take a look at Fox here on MEXC. The Shapeshift Foxer. Let's take a look at the daily here and see what's happening. So this thing came out a long ways ago here, somewhere in August of 2021, pumped up hot, came back down, and then completely bottomed. I don't know, man. It doesn't look healthy to me. It doesn't look like a project I'd like to deal with. May come back from the dead. I don't know. Daily looks interesting. Previous support is resistance. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Well, you know, previous support is resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if it does bang up to 21 and come back from the dead. If you believe in it, I guess I don't know enough about the project. And even with just looking, I don't like projects that I've been around that long and are still, like, didn't really do much. I guess you could say, fine, it pumped from 3 cents all the way to 18. I guess at 5x, it pulled back like the rest of the market. No, it looks basically like a lot of other coins, just so much lower where it is. Wishing Wiper a happy Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mothers out here. Anyone who's a mother on the stream, we love you. We appreciate you. Shout out to all the lifer moms. Shout out to my mom, Irene Price, one of the most beautiful people in the earth. She passed away on Thanksgiving Day. I still can't believe I say that with just such a hurt heart, but you know, I know God is there for me, and I haven't cried for the death of my mom in about a month. You know, it's been a while. No words could explain the gains on gains with our Father's blessing. Thank you that passed away on that day. Amen, man. God bless you, brother. First Mother's Day without my mom's was the worst. This is my first Mother's Day without my mom in my whole life. I'd do anything to call my mom today and tell her how much I loved her. I'd give my entire portfolio for one phone call. How crazy is that? But you know that you can't do it. Isn't that? It's so trying when, you know, you get over death once you when it first happens, you want the person back. You don't understand that you're not going to be able to talk to them ever again. It doesn't make sense to you. Your mind keeps replaying the idea that you're going to see them again, and then you have to tell yourself you're not. And then you kind of go through this like weird process of pain, and it's a cycle until one day you just come to terms with like, that's over. It's over. And somehow you, like, over time, but both my parents died this year. I was still getting over the death of my dad when my mother died. I hadn't even fully processed the death of my father yet when my mom died. Like, and you know, both of them, like my dad died in May and then my mom died following in November. Anyway, this is the coin I've been accumulating. I don't want you to feel bad for me. I'm not asking for pity here. I'm really not. I'm just letting you know that things happen, man. And I don't care. You know, look, I made a bunch of money. My YouTube channel blew up. I became quote unquote successful. Everything went my way, right? I got the house. I got everything seemed to go my way this year. And we kept winning in the charts. The group is doing great. I'm meeting people around the world. Like, we're getting more and more opportunities with the channel. The channel's growing. Well, like, nothing compares, you know, nothing can bring back your mom and dad. It's so bittersweet. Nothing can bring back the death of my mom, you know. But I'm blessed either way. And I never gave up my faith with God, and I never yelled, you know, was mad at God, and I never got angry. And I only just said, you know, I eventually said thank you that she got taken while I was there with her. My dad, I wasn't there. My mom had to call me, but at least she was there with him, you know. So I like this coin, GFAL, and I like the tight moving averages, especially here in the 12-hour with the point to the upside. And I think this thing's going to rip, and RWA is going to make a big move. And I've been positioning myself in RWA, and I've been talking about this is a coin I actually own. So I'd look for GFI to make a pretty big move. And tonight, actually, of all the nights, it almost feels like the altcoins are coming back here. Like I've posted more altcoins than I have in a while tonight. I feel like I'm getting my mojo back when it comes to the altcoins, right? Stokes pointing up pretty hard here to the upside too. I like that. Also, I got interviewed today from someone that's doing a magazine here in Sarasota. They happen to know I moved here. They're from Sarasota. They heard about me and they called me. We had like an hour and a half conversation. He wrote a beautiful article about my life and kind of like a little bit of like what the group is and what it does. And that's going to be coming out. And that's an interesting, just so much cool stuff is happening. The second I moved to Florida, I could just feel the love. GFI is also on Mexi. I've been getting it on Mexi, but when they change the name, they just, the chart doesn't look as efficient as this one. All right. We were in the same boat, brother. My parents met and world to me, and I had nothing after meeting you. Well, my family looks at me so proud and appreciate all that you have done for me. I'm happy for you, my friend. Was it your mom? Yeah, she said, wake up. She said, wake up. She said, rise and shine, that boy of mine. We love you, Sammy. I know your mom's looking down from heaven and your father is very proud of you. I would love to have them here in Florida in the house that I'm in now. I'd love to watch them and my dad in the pool and my mom. He would have relaxed, taken a couple swims, sat there and read his book, had something to eat, taken a nap, done it all over again each day. I would have brought him to the beach and taken him to some restaurants, and I think he would have absolutely loved it. And I actually was telling him about it. I said, Dad, I'm going to get the house in Florida. You're going to come with me. Remember in our last conversations, it was like a week before he died. I said, I'm going to take you to Florida, man, and you're going to relax finally, Dad, and I'm going to drive you everywhere. You're not going to have to worry about anything anymore. Your son finally made it, Dad. Like, he said, say no. He said, sign me up. Sounds great to me. I can still remember his voice, Whatever, man. I got to let it go. I got to let it go and just drift off into the past and water off a duck's back, right? And you get stronger every day. You get stronger every day. You get stronger every day. Remember that. If that's what you want, you'll become stronger. If you look for strength, I prayed to God for strength. He gave me more problems to make me stronger. Everyone thinks that when you pray to God, that everything's going to go perfect. But God gives you what he knows you need to change you at that time. He knows what you're truly asking for, even if you don't. And see, that's the problem. Until you have the true wisdom that even the beginning of what God, we're never going to have the true wisdom of God. I never want to even be that blasphemous. But you do gain more wisdom over time. And that wisdom helps you see what you couldn't see before. And so what you thought was God damning you, because like I used to feel like God, why are you doing this? It never seems like you care. The pain, But God was challenging me to become there for people, to become a mentor, to become a teacher, to become the crypto life. Like now it all made sense. And now I'm like, oh, I get it. You were preparing me for something that money could never give me so that I could help others with my ups and downs in my life. And now it all makes sense. But it didn't make sense back then. Back then it was a struggle. Back then I felt like God had abandoned me and didn't love me. You see? Because I was too immature to understand the knowledge that God was giving me. And that's how I know that God exists, because someone was communicating to me, and it wasn't another human being. It was a force. It was a being. And this thing was attempting to get through to me over and over and over again until I finally caught it one morning. I was like, oh my gosh. And then through my channel and through the growth of what happened and all the people that I met, like Crypto Billy, when I'm on this right path, and then I meet people that are on the same path, and I get this divine connection, and then I get another divine connection and another one, and it grows and it grows, and then there's this like tribe of people that all seem to be on this high frequency. And next thing you know, I'm not around any of these like lamos that I used to be around, and everything seems to be moving at a higher, faster rate. And I know and it all started with my connection, and things start to grow on another level. I see ICP possibly falling down to 817. I really do. Looks like it's in a downtrend, shoulder, head, and shoulder. Bit of a descending triangle too as well. It's below the 200 SMA. So it's pretty bearish to me right now, in my humble opinion. Ozone's another hot coin for sure. That doesn't seem to care much about the rest of the MAC. It had a huge pump at one point. Sitting at the 786 Fibonacci level, rounding out, could be a great place to get in. I think it's a little risky for me. You know, I'm a little alted up. I don't know, but 12 hour looks interesting. And it looks aggressive. It could be the bottom right there for Ozone. Honestly, I'm calling a Ozone bottom. I'll say possible bottom, but to me it looks very likely. And Ozone's a coin that could just do its own thing. Like Bitcoin goes sideways one day and the whole market could be like whatever, and Ozone could just pump. I'm telling you, it can do numbers. I don't own any, but I swing traded, and I wouldn't mind seeing if I could possibly get in on a swing trade on this thing. Oversold back to that 786 Fibonacci retracement gets me going, gets me excited. Blaze Storyfire came out on the 27th of April and just continues to pump. I don't know anything about it though. It looks like it's got a small market cap. Just be careful if you're trading it. I do a little more research about it. Let's see if what I can find about it. Storyfire, Blaze, 740,000 market cap, very small. All right. Barely any volume. Like, look, like 6,000. Like, you know, I'm not touching stuff like that. Web3, they all say it's the best, and maybe it does amazing things. I guess it's something you would have to buy and hope you're buying the very, I mean, that's below $1 million market cap is very risky. I don't know if I've ever done that. Maybe once or twice in my life. All right. Whatever happened to BABYPEPE? My buddy was in this coin. I begged him not to get into it. But he was like, this is the one. I was like, all right. Look, it went all the way up and all the way back down again. That's what happens to these little garbage coins, man. But some people still believe. You never know. Wow, this guy thinks Caspa's a scam. Interesting. Caspa's hype. That's it. Wow, D the dude thinks Caspa's all hype. Wow. Casper is a rug pull. You're delusional. Well, he said Casper, not Caspa. Now you guys might, Hey, GF Burke, bro, we got a guy in here that thinks Caspa is a rug pull and is just all nothing. I'm working over here, yeah. Caspa is the best crypto. Burke, man, tell this dude why Caspa will outwork him. KRC20 token, man. I got rid of Caspa. That thing is garbage. Yeah. I did. I got rid of Caspa. Whatever. I'm sorry if the team is here. We love you. We love all cryptos. But I'm not with Casper. I'm just not. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. And Casper's the real deal. Casper is a scam. That's how I feel. I figured out Casper was just, I don't know what they were doing, but I moved on. I'm not going to call anybody a scam, but I moved on. Funny. Snack energy, bro. Let's go. I got mentioned in this tweet. You know, there's more going on with the fighting, man. It's so funny how like more and more people that I know are getting into fighting. Pretty interesting. Put a tweet out about my closet. I just couldn't believe that that's my closet now in my life. It's just nuts to me. Like I still don't believe it, everybody. I'm a middle class guy in a complete state of shock. May look like I'm bragging, I guess, sometimes, but I'm just a middle class guy that's just in a complete state of shock. I saw the stuff in the movies, you know what I mean? I never thought it would be my life. Like, I dreamed of it, but when you start touching it, it gets crazy. It gets crazy. I'll be back down in Cape Cod early next month. Can't wait to be Florida full time. Have to tie up some loose ends in MA first. Well, God bless. Oh, you'll be back in Cape Coral. Oh, cool. Yeah, Cape Cod to Cape Coral. That's what I like. KRC 20 stablecoins next month. Middle class to crypto class over there. Exactly. That's funny. I like that. Middle class to crypto. I'm still dreaming, man. I dream of you one day doing TA and Ergo. Well, you got it then. Here's Ergo for you, my friend. Ergo. But how come it didn't, it is ERG, right? Let's take a look at Ergo from my man who dreams every day that I'll go over it. Well, it only came out on the beginning of April here. Wow, I've known about this coin for a long time, so let's go back to a better chart. Let's look at it here on KuCoin, right? All right, let's take a look. You can see I looked at that flag back in June. All right, so Ergo on the weekly looks horrible. You know, did not engage in... Yeah, I guess, yeah, it did the November thing. It went from 81 cents up to 250. So it did like every coin did. It did almost a 4x, 3.5x, and then it came all the way back down and gave most of it. But held the mean, didn't go back to its low at 83. You can see it's got resistance on that POC, and the weekly's super low now. Could be your final bottom here for Ergo. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I think there's so many better projects out there. Like, you don't hear the name. There's no marketing. Sounds like they're, hello. You know, people hold on to coins from last year, and then just, maybe it's like, you got to be realistic. Crypto's so fast moving. Eventually, the volume will just go into where the coins that, like the BONK, all these new coins to call the volume. And there wasn't left for like an old coin, right? I'm not saying this can't eventually make a move up. The weekly suggests it may. But I'm letting you know personally, I wouldn't be trading it. Look for the 3-day to break its 200 SMA. Once it does that, somewhere around 150, it will pump likely back to 262. And low, high, higher, low, higher, high, double bottom. It's in somewhat of an uptrend here. If it could continue, the 3-day chart suggests that it can. Either wait for it to break the 200 SMA on the 3-day chart or that 169 resistance, and then I could see it getting up further back up to this 260 level. But, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you every old coin's not going to make it. Well, look at Arc Block Protocol, too. Like, this thing pumped hard. We talked about it. Possible retest there. It bounced. Look at it now. It's still kind of forming a bit of a flag here. And if anything's hot to trade right now, Arc Block is hot. Telling you right now. Get rid of that retest now at that point. Pull a Fibonacci on Arc Block, and you can see, 295. It could come all the way back down to the golden pocket, 272. That's where I would love to snatch it. But previous support is resistance. There's some support there at 295. And if any coin can pop, it could be ABT. You know what I'm saying? It could do numbers. So, yeah, back up to 469. Would be my target. Kind of an emerging cup and handle there. Something I would definitely pay attention to. It's below the 200 SMA on the 1 hour. It's above it on the 4 hour. It's toying with it here, below it on the 15 minute. I'd look for it to break above it on the 15 minute and then see if it can hang, Not amazing. I'm getting both senses of it. That's why I'd wait for confirmation, but it could pop. What's your thoughts of the merger of Fetch, Ocean, and AJAX? Could be some interesting. Honestly, it's in it. Yeah, like, are they going to dump those coins? It's weird. Like, what's going to happen to the coins? Like, how that's all going to play out is very, very weird to me. I've never seen something like that, especially in crypto. So you can see we're still at 61,340, just going sideways in that flag. Liquidity is further to the downside. Look for us to lose. If we lose the 7-minute 200, if we lose that POC, we're going to dump hard to 58K. I just want to warn you, if you wake up tomorrow in a massive dump, do not suggest. Lifer was just only bullish. She said we were going up because I told you I know nothing but the fact about ignorance, and I gave you both ways to play it. And the way I play the short really should, if we go that direction, I really truly believe I gave you the best way to play the position, no matter what. All right. There's a dump right now for Bitcoin. It's actually taking a bit of a tumble. Let's take a look at BTC back on Binance here on the 1 minute and see what we're suffering with here. Yeah, look at that nasty dump. But you lost the 200 SMA on the 1. That's your first sign of bearishness. Doesn't mean it's over for sure, but that's the first sign. And you switch to your 7, and you're going to go for the 200 of the 7. If you lose the 7, you're going to start to take a further dump down. This is a bit of an M pattern that could dump you. Then you look for the 15-minute to lose the 200, which is right there. You can't see it right there because it's inside, but right there. If that happens, that's when I would short. I wouldn't short until then. This could just be a liquidity grab on a Sunday night. So, you know, and again, I'm not going to open up a leverage trade Sunday night into Monday morning. It could go up, go down. This is the most volatile night. Price action goes crazy. But again, if we do lose the 200, you're likely going to continue to dump. Likely to 60,150. You lose that, you're going down. Somewhere to 58,500, 58,700. I see it. It just looks likely to me. And I guess if you never get back above 61,800, expect more downside. You must break 61.8 to get to liquidity. You must break 61.8. If you don't break 61.8, expect more downside. All right. All right, everybody. I'm jumping on out for the night. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. We had one of our biggest streams just on Friday, 1,900, about 2,000 people. The channel's blowing up. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, Andy on Blast. It's a meme that is looking hot to me. I always thought Andy on Blast was going to be big, and then it didn't get that big, but now it's big. And how to get on Blast, we'll teach you and show you the way. Yeah, a little bit of a pump. Nothing crazy, but we did see Andy on Blast bounce off of like what looks like a Fibonacci level there. Lower than the 786, almost the 886. And it's okay right now. It's in a bit of a cup and handle flag. It is retesting 18. It bounced off 18.5. But I thought I was going to... Everyone's like, it's pumping. I always think it's going to be a bigger pump than I see. Blast is similar to base. It's you know, you can bridge from Ethereum. Look for this flag to continue. Hold the 200 SMA on the 4-hour time frame, and Blast could continue up maybe about 190% gain there, back to its all-time high. All right. I mean, I prefer Andy on neither right now. I like Blast better because it already pumped pretty hard on ETH. So, right. So. Everybody, I love you all. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. May you stay blessed. May you stay amazing. May you stay positive no matter what. If you want to join my trading group, remember we got links. You could have been up to LIXX for gains of 25%. My Bitcoin call today on the cup and handle to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. Ton to the upside for 36%. Velo, I put out for 58% gains. Banged on them in 7 days. Another Bitcoin call that played out absolutely beautifully to the upside. Props that my team put out. JTO that my team put out. Ozone, Ton, Orange Coin, and the list goes on last week from the 2nd to the 6th. 150% gains on Tucker to the upside as well. And I'm talking about Tucker today. Jupe holding gains 17%, and the list goes on. We continuously give you the gains, baby, every single day. God bless everybody here on the live. If you want to jump on into the trading group, we do have a pinned comment up here. We make it super easy. Another thing that I want to start pushing more than I have is I'm going to be doing a class on the 18th. So jump on into class with me. I go over an entire checkpoint, give you 7-step process to, how I get into a trade, what I look at. It's from 9 a.m. to 12. on May 18th. It will be a Saturday morning, Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I'm telling you right now, this will be the first class I've taught in a while, my first class in my Florida location, so I think there's going to be a good, vibrant energy to the class. If you really want to learn more, it's $150. I believe you'll always remember this. You'll have what I give you for the rest of your life, right? The $150 will come and go, but you'll have the knowledge I give you for the rest of your life. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. And I will be back tomorrow for Monday, at the beginning of the trading week, as we look at the false move Monday and we get back into business and we tackle these markets like we do every single day. Thank you for coming to the weekly candle close. It was an amazing night. I really, really appreciate it. We had a wonderful morning stream, a wonderful night stream. We banged on and we worked harder today than we worked on a regular day sometimes, on a Sunday. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. 7 days a week, baby. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. Drop it again.